wow, technology can be really my partner in crime in a good way. I mean, so partner
Not
in
literal
a
people.
not literal, please. It gets stored immediately. They don't need to learn anymore at home because it's immediately in their system through the emotion that you create through the auditive, visual aspect, and all of this. And one of the aspects where I felt also very, very engaged having a conversation with my business partner from South America was how we can use technology to educate people or to make education more accessible. There is completely different types of learning people. The one is more auditive, the other one is
Of
more,
course.
they needed the information more like shortened together. They don't need too much information. Other people, they need more deeper understanding. Third are more like the visual. Some need it fast. For example, when I watch YouTube videos, I put it sometimes on the speed of 2 point, so double speed, so I can shorten the time and I can still enhance the information because my brain works like that. Some other, maybe they can put it at zero 0.5, or they need to turn on the subtitles because they are better like with visual instead of audio. And the discussion we were having is how beautiful will it be to use technology to get one piece of a content and to be able to create of this one piece of education content different kind of expression or layout of this content, so everybody can create an individual like learning program based on their learning type. And of course, when we take also learning disability, so that means we can
That I
serve,
love. That's awesome.
you know,
Hmm.
we can serve people with learning disability who now, hit the books in their head and thinks, I experienced so much successful people who told me as a children, they've been told they're like stupid, they cannot learn because back there it wasn't aware that there is a different like disability and that the way how information is presented to them, it wasn't the way how they were able to kind of assimilate. and
That I
and in
love.
this way you can completely change this environment. And now we come back to the challenge when of course people doesn't have access to internet. And that is what she shared from me coming from Argentina and Uruguay. She said during this challenging time where we were locked down, the parents who didn't have access to internet, or to at least maybe they had access to internet but not access to a smart device, their children lost almost 2 years of education. So it needs to become a higher priority, not only of governments, but also of company. And you can create a business model around that, where you can, for example, in Germany, I could buy you can buy it now also, my mobile phone on a monthly base rate, like a minimum rate of that, what is my monthly payment for phone bill to pay out my device. I don't need to have the money in advance in order to have the device. Or you can we think as a telecommunication company, you can start providing internet in areas where there is not, and you can put and the monthly fee a part of the installation cost, that on a long term. But when you're there and you bring it, there is no other one. So if you're the pioneer in this area, so you immediately gain like the customer who will stay their customer. There is no other one, and you just put it in a small chunks in their monthly payment.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Who's doing that? That's a great business.
Actually, so this with the telecommunication, they're doing it currently in Congo, a company that I encountered, and they're looking, of course, for investors to be able to extend this. But also, I learned that in India, 10 years ago, there was around 24 million um, people who have access to smart devices. Now it's a government's project. Now they are up to 1 billion in less than 10 years. Crazy. Because they understood how important is the access to technology for the development of the country. That's why you see how strong India is growing, also on an industrial level, because they understood in order to bring our society to the next level and to be comparable on a global level, we need to give access to our people and to educate them.
Yes.
You cannot stop the development of technology, but it's important to understand the responsibility we as a whole humanity we have when we develop something in this speed, that the gap we're creating between the one that have access to technology and have the understanding about technology and the other one, that we should not only build bridges, but we should educate also the people to take the scarcity away, their fear away, and to help them cross the bridges.
Yeah, that's an investment in education 100%.
And that is the emotional intelligence, because now you need to understand the psychology of the human and of the human brain, why somebody is afraid to cross the bridge. Because how many people have a smartphone and they use it as a dumb phone?
Explain that. Explain that to the viewers.
So I used to say this in my previous business, because only with this device you can build an entrepreneurship and imperium. So many people do. You even doesn't need a laptop. It's like having all you need in this phone. But some people use it only to surf on social media, like you said at the beginning, create anxiety. So to compare how others are living the lives. So we spend hours after hours. You can turn on this tracker to see where you spend your most of the time. So like watching cat videos and dog videos and all this kind of stuff, maybe doing some phone calls, but nowadays even not even that, putting some funny memes and gifs. But when we realize that what we have in our hand is a smartphone, and it's so smart that it can help us educate ourselves, you can just open YouTube and for free find every single information you need on a different level of complexity. I swear you can go there and Google like blockchains for dummy, and you'll find something explained for children on the level, So even with videos and with pictures, animations, so really like real. And you can go there and find something that is on the level where even me with my IT background, I'll be like, okay, again, repeat. So that means when we start understanding that what we have in our pocket is, of course, we can enjoy it to watch some cat videos, but to be aware or to raise our awareness, how we use it. Do we use it to create more opportunity for us, to educate ourselves, to explore the world? In every age you can learn something. In every age, with 60, with 70, with 80, you can start completely new endeavor. Just with this small, okay, mine is a little big, but phone in your hand. Don't let the technology controls you, or to be the servant of the technology. Be the one where the technology serves you, and just be playful. Find a way. Okay, hey, what is ChatGPT? You heard, maybe you use it every day. Maybe you never heard about it. Make an account and just explore even stupidity question, just to see. I put some information about my son and I say, hey, can you create me a poem around that? It was so beautiful. It was joyful. And I presented to my son and he was, wow, that's so cool. Or for example, one of my biggest struggle was to write any kind of emails. Sometimes because I'm not native English speaker, I'm not native German speaker. So if a native person needs 5 minutes to put in the right wording, especially when it's on a higher management level, I need to rethink it 15, 20 minutes. Now I put it in my Word, I put it into ChatGPT and I say, hey, can you please write it a little more diplomatic? Or can you write it a little more empathic? So it can even put some nuance, but please keep my wording, or please keep the way how I'm expressing myself, but just make it more round, more, like sounding better. And I'm every time like, wow, I'm so grateful because I now write it in 5 minutes, put it a few seconds later, I have the finished version. It saves me time.
Absolutely.
It gives me also the opportunity to express what I actually want to express, but because of being not native, sometimes I miss some wording. And what's the beauty is when I get it written down and I, of course, read it, I learn new expression, I learn new words, and I educate myself every day.
That's a great example.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Really.
that is
Our
cool.
logo of the podcast, it's created by AI.
Hmm.
You know, it's just amazing. I have created so beautiful pictures for my newsletters on my other, endeavor. That brings emotion, and I love Dali. And I say, please make it in Dali style, so it's like this more kind of spaciousness and like kind of, not standard side. And I can express Dali's not here, but I can use the essence of his art to put it into that what I'm, you know,
That's true.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
It's so beautiful. It's about to understand, okay, even if I block myself, emotion, block myself, the development will continue. It won't stop because I have fear of the technology. So we want to invite you to explore, and of course with awareness. Again, it's just both. Develop more assertiveness, more mindfulness when you watch a video, when you listen to an audio, when you hear about some news. Check from different sources to see whether that's true or not. That is the one side. And yet, don't stop yourself because maybe you are not familiar, and very often we fear something because we don't know it. But when you start exploring it, you can find also excitement about the technology and put the beautiful energy into it, the conscious level of excitement of, wow, technology can be really my partner in crime in a good way. I mean, so
Not
partner in
literal
a,
people.
not literal, please. No, technology can be
Yeah.
like really my partner. I don't see it as something against me, but something that we can work like hands in hands. When more people go on this side, but also more people educate themselves or get the education, how to be able to understand, is this a fake news, is this not a fake, is this real or not real, because this can even influence election and so on. If you're not able to see the difference or to be able to make your own due diligence, you'll be caught up in possible lies. And
Yeah.
yet you can put the Google, this Apple virtual reality
Those glasses, those goggles.
glasses, goggles, exactly. And how beautiful it will be to have like a class in the school where everybody put it and be able to actually transport virtually into the pyramids and get the most excited education around that. And like almost the only thing that you need still to implement is is the smell. you know
Oh, it's coming.
yeah, well, of course. But imagine how way more interactive and way more better educated, because we learn through emotion. Again, we're emotional being. That's why emotional intelligence. So when we understand, when we create products, it's important to put the emotional intelligence as like the front horse into the creating of the products. So when you create this educational system around, instead just reading a book and see some pictures, you can actually give it to all the children, put the goggles, and they can be transported there, and through the emotion it gets stored immediately. They don't need to learn anymore at home, because it's immediately in their system through the emotion that you create through the auditative, visual aspect, and all of this.
That's right. That's why sort of the old adage of advertising. When you create that emotion, is what gravitates, what makes that commercial successful, because you touch something inside of somebody. So yeah, it's impactful, it's memorable. So 100%.
One of the topic why it's so important to educate completely different, and also to reshape the way how we put education outside, is the old education system is that's information, take it, learn it, give it back, just repeat it. But what we need to, how we need to reshape education system in the core is to be based on due diligence, on really taking a piece of information and learning how to check it through a different sources, and also to use your own intuition, discerniveness, to check whether it's true or not. Because the challenge that we have now in our current societies, we never really learn to check information. We take it as a granted. So that's why when we now get somebody send you like a video and say, hey, look what, I don't know, Barack Obama say, or look what Michelle Pfeiffer, whatever, say, our first reaction is we take it for granted, because it looks like the person, it sounds like the person, they did it, right? Because we never grown up in a education system where we have learned to check the facts, where we have learned to check whether the story that they're telling us, it's right. And that's why this is like a core reshaping needed to happen starting from the kindergarten, that we don't educate anymore to keep information in mind. We don't need it. We have Google, we have ChatGPT, we have all these other tools coming that you can just search and get the information. We don't need to become the storage of information in our brain. We need to become the human race, or the humanity, that can grab information, can do the due diligence, can check it, and can create something new out of the information, to use it for enhancement of the humanity, for development, for, give you an example. I come into school and I teach history, and I say, okay, this and this and this happened back there. What would you do? And give this as a like task to think. Search on internet. Is there other similar cases? How the other country cope with this kind of situation? Or what could be a better way to go out of it? You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Here's the other thing that just came to me. I wanted to ask you, Anna, is okay, technology is an enhancer to the mind. You're learning, you're exploring, you're challenging, you're bringing up the challenging of what the information we're receiving. And obviously, if the mind is absorbing this information, you're also touching the heart at times, because you're using that emotional quotient that it
Mm-hmm.
touches you, and it creates a certain emotion, which is good. So, how about the body? So, how can technology enhance the aspect of the body? Meaning the following: do we have to have a society where just learning, absorbing, great, is touching us, but how is it helping us, or how can it help us with our physical activity of the body? Because we need the body to also grow. We also need to play. We also need to move. So how do we handle that from just becoming a mind oriented society to also want to go back to the core of actually honoring the body and moving around and making it as healthy as we possibly can? Has that been addressed, or what's your point of view on that?
It's a very good question, and I can see different aspects. So, for example, one of the aspects normally when I have a conversation with somebody, I have my uh, headset, and it's with Bluetooth. So instead of me sitting like previously on the phone, this kind of phone, I don't know whether you had this one where you turned it, I move around a lot, for example. So that means that gives me the freedom, even if I have a conversation, to move around. Um, but there is also technology development that help us rebalance the frequency within us. So because we know, first we're around 70% plus minus water. So, and there is a lot of science around that, how like music or how frequency affect water. So when you have the right frequency technology, it can help you if you have somewhere stuck energy that can create kind of, pain and develop to even more worse situation. This frequency technology can actually help you move this stuck energy through your body. We already have a lot of this, and more are to come. But also, we go back again to the educational point. It's important to be aware of how technology, whether do we serve technology or does technology serve us, is if we have technology of learning, is that we still need to create space to move. So it needs to be a, a necessity in our daily life to go and to move your body. And this could be from really going out and moving the body. I know there is also a lot of technology that helps you putting here and like, moving your muscles and so on and so on, this vibration or vibration plates or so on. I even saw people buying, how do you say this, treadmill, meal,
Yeah, treadmill. Yeah.
yeah, having under their desk at home because they're working in home office, and during conversation, so I'm not now sitting, but I'm going to stand up, and they're like, moving while they're having like a Zoom call. And this, you can integrate this. But when you have more time, because technology saves you time, then you can also have more time to go to the gym. And for example, a lot of online schools, in order to be a part of the schools, you also need to have a weekly sport activities that you need to provide this information and kind of a proof that you are joining different sport activities.
That's a great
So
motivator. That's amazing.
it's a part of the education. Even if you're in an online school, you still need to provide or to participate in some charity organization or some community work. For example, one of the girls visiting this one school that I participate in information evening, she's going to something like scout programs here in UAE, in Dubai, or she's riding horse, so she's going 4 times a week because she can study from at home, very flexible. She has now more time to explore actually her passion, and she's playing polo. She's even in the national team of young children in UAE in the polo team because she loves it and she has more capacity to do this because of the online learning. It's important to educate not only the children but also the parents how important it is to move, the body.
Good. Yeah, I just wanted to address that because I want to make sure that we tackle every aspect of being a human being, just not the enhancement of the mind and the spiritual side. So,
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely, absolutely. But what technology can help you is to create the suitable program, sport program for you instead of one fit all,
Right.
very
Custom.
personalized. That's
Mhm.
also amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
If you, Pedro, let me ask you this. If you say, when you look at all your areas in your life, and maybe there is already a tool or not, but let me imagine, what would be the area that you say, wow, if there is a technology solution for this area, it's gonna increase kind of my value that I can bring to the world?
I'll give you a perfect example. It sounds silly, but
Ooh, perfect. No silliness.
literally right now, I have to have a ring light. I have to have this entire physical setup just so I could try at least to have a decent lighting or environment, and I'm still missing certain lights. So that's the hardware, the physical hardware. I wish there was a technology that takes care of all the proper lighting, takes care of the background visual effects, all in one shot. It will make my life easier because trying to produce content still is, even though we use a lot of AI, I use a lot of AI, it's still a pain in the butt because you have to put all these things together. So I want somebody to please, if you're listening to this and you're really good at this, put something that enhances the lighting and takes care of your visual background for you. I don't have to do so much work and buy all these different things. So yeah, that would definitely help me because it saves me a lot of money and saves me a lot of time. So I'm all for that. I have yet to see something like that.
Can you give you an example what might be the solution?
Mm.
Recording in a virtual environment, aka metaverse, where you as a personality doesn't come as an avatar, but because AI is already so developed, can actually take you, make the perfect virtual copy of you into a metaverse environment where you just put the virtual goggles, how do you call it?
Goggles.
Goggles,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So we meet in our virtual recording studio, even the table, we can sit in one room. We don't need to have a different backgrounds and so on. We have the perfect environment. It's just our virtual avatar there in a perfect, almost one-to-one or one-to-one copy. And you just need the goggles with the right audio quality, or you just capture your voice in the perfect way so they have it already in hand. So when you speak, it's already adjust the audio and so on. So it's like done.
I know, but I like my flaws. I like my little quips and my my little pauses, and it's just that
No, no,
I
it's not, no, no, it's not about, no, 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 you get me wrong.
okay.
It's not about you not telling or speaking what you're
So I'm
speaking
still
or
there.
talking.
I'm
You're
still
still
there.
there.
Okay, okay.
You're still there. So
Just the
what
environment is
the
different.
conversation that we are having is just not happening. It's a recording now. My laptop is starting the camera. You and I, for example, I don't have currently here lights in Dubai, so I need to use the natural light. And the moment it gets darker, I'm like, okay, shit, Pedro, you need to wake up very early so we can do the recording.
And I am up
So
there very early, guys.
exactly. So a little, when we started this endeavor together, I was living in Germany. So now I like, we're like 8 hours difference. So it's like
Yes.
long term we're gonna find another solution. But so that means we just go in every time because you have the perfect setup. We can even put like on the beach. I put the beach virtuals sitting there drinking cocktails and like uh, I believe that um, I believe that the technology is already there. I'm not pretty sure whether it's developed. What I can share with you is I shared this with Pedro just a few moments ago. Is that actually yesterday I was talking with a person who used to be in the film production area, and then he showed me some videos. And he told me these videos are completely created by AI. And they looked, there was like a cat, or there was like some other animals and so on. They were so realistically created just by prompt, a whole video without any production, just an AI with a prompt. So he even told me that with this app, a person created a movie trail for a new James Bond movie. He picked two existing actors and created this trail with the app. And it looks so amazing that he said, I actually wanted to go in to see the movie. You know, the movie doesn't exist. It hasn't been created in real life. It's not available to the public. And yet the technology is really, really evolving. And I believe it's evolving because our consciousness is evolving.
It's exciting times. Exciting times.
So we give you a small exercise. If you already work with AI or with any kind of like Web3 technology and so on, maybe find another excitement way how you can integrate it even more in your daily life, or to reflect at least how much more time or how much more maybe outcome you're able to produce. Just to see in comparisons if it wasn't there. If you do not use AI, take one simple app. It could be just an app where you just put some prompting and you create some funny pictures and so on. Just make it funny, you know, just make it something joyful to explore it. Or maybe go on ChatGPT and put a question around topic that you're interested in, and or you want to read a book and ask ChatGPT to give you a summary of the book. Start exploring in a small steps. That is how I started. I started with Midjourney at the beginning. I started creating like a different pictures, animation, and I was like, wow, that's so amazing. Wow, that's so beautiful. Oh, suddenly I have 6 fingers and here I have 8 fingers. So of course technology is evolving, but yet it's also funny to see suddenly a person who have like 2 hands coming from here, especially if you create like a crowd, then it's getting crazy where the eyes could be, and you know, still not so so explore it just a little to help you lose the fear. And also, depending on what area you're working, maybe look for a tool that can help you get your job easier done, can save you time, or can make your life easier. Like for me, writing an emails, or when I write my posts or my newsletters, you know. I even teach the AI. That is the way how I write. Store it. Use it when you adjust some writing for me. Please use the style I'm using. You can even teach ChatGPT. That's so beautiful.
That's awesome.
With all this said, let we work for more humanization of technology. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Click on one of the videos below and don't forget to like and subscribe.